Welcome into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. And for the first time since 2016, the New York Football Giants will start the NFL season 1-0. And the last time the Giants did that was back in 2016 against the Dallas Cowboys, where Victor Cruz came back to the Giants and the Giants made the playoffs. Not saying that's going to happen, but it is a great start for hopefully a very long tenure for Brian Daboll as the head coach for the New York Football Giants. We'll look at some stats here. Daniel Jones had his ups and he had his downs. 17 of 21, 188 yards, 2 touchdowns, a sack fumble early in the game. I think he got sacked like 6 or 7 times. He also had that terrible interception when he stared down Saquon Barkley, but he bounced back and he was great when he needed to be. Barkley was amazing. 18 carries, 164 yards. Shepard had that long touchdown. Richie James had a good game. Chris Myriak caught that touchdown. I am pumped up, and Derrick Henry had less than 100 yards on the ground. We're going to break down the entire game today, but before we do, let's get the chat going, because the Giants have not won a football game in a long time, dating back to last year, and they've won the first week of the game, first game of the season for the first time since 2016. Spam it in the chat. Giants win. Giants win. Giants win. Spam it in the chat right now. First, we got to talk about Saquon Barkley, because Saquon Barkley is all the way back. 18 carries, 164 yards, a long run of 68 yards. He had that touchdown. He also had 6 receptions for 30 yards, 5 yards per pop, had the game-winning touchdown, the 2-point conversion. I mean, he looked amazing. Saquon Barkley is all the way back. I want everyone to type 26 in the comment section right now, because Saquon Barkley is back. This is the guy that we have been wanting to play for the past couple of years, and Saquon Barkley is back, all the way back. I'm freaking proud to own this jersey right now. I feel so happy for Saquon. He's battled through so much adversity. He looked healthy. He looked athletic. He looked strong. He stuck his foot in the ground. He got north and south. He didn't shy away from contact. Let's show Saquon some love. Type 26 in the comments right now. Before we get to the rest of the stats of today's game, we do have some bad news on Wan'Dale Robinson. We don't know the severity of the injury yet. Let me check Twitter real quick. But he left early in the game due to a knee injury. And that's scary. Anytime he was ruled out, nothing official yet. Once we do get an official update on him, we'll get you guys that eventually. But it is a knee injury, and he was ruled out for the rest of the game early in the game. And that caused guys like Richie James had to step up in big ways. Let's talk about Daniel Jones, though. I was very critical of Daniel Jones today. I thought he made some bonehead plays, but I also thought he made some really good plays. I was not a fan on the first drive of the game when it was 3rd and 7 or 8, and he tucked and ran it, and he slid a yard before the first down. I thought that carried into the rest of the first half. I think you need to come out and punch somebody in the mouth. And that was a rollover and just punt the ball. He needs to be aggressive. He's looking to be a quarterback in the NFL. And you do stuff like that, it didn't happen. Then he did it again in the second half. But when he had to pick up on 4th and 1, a run, he did it. Daniel Jones made big plays today. He made some plays that left you really pissed off. That pass to Saquon was unacceptable. A quarterback in his 4th year should not do that. But he made the plays that matter, and he got the Giants a dub. You can't really complain too much. Look, this team played great. The defense held them in the game all game long. The first half, the defense was incredible. Mad love to them. Holding Derrick Henry to less than 100 yards. I am worried about the linebackers. They got cooked a couple times by number 40, the running back for Tennessee. His name is escaping me right now. Hilliard. It was Dontrell Hilliard, Dontrell Hilliard had 2 touchdowns out of the backfield. At the end of the day, though, the Giants did what they had to do to come out of week 1, 1-0. But I want to talk about Brian Daboll real quick. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of this football team. And I said it during our live stream. You have to go for 2. because going for 2 as Brian Dable sets the tone for this season for the New York Giants. It tells your quarterback, it tells your offense, and it tells your defense that you believe in them. And he went for 2, and Mike Kafka and him draw up a great play. So I want to type Big Balls Dable in the chat because he let his nuts hang, and he said on the road as a 5.5-point dog, I'm going to go for 2, and I'm going to trust my defense and special teams to stop them. Luckily, Fat Randy missed the kick, but Brian Dable let it hang when he had to. He was cold-blooded. That head was shining bright as hell after the game. Saw him in the locker room with the team. He is a player's coach. I'm a big fan of Brian Dable. Type Big Balls Dable in the comments right now. Also, subscribe, because look, if you weren't at our watch party today, you're missing out. It was an absolute blast. We had 2,400 people watching at one point. It was incredible. It was a blast. We're going to be live every single Sunday for every game this year. We also put out Giants videos every single day as well as go live on Wednesdays. So subscribe, hit that big red button. Now we're trying to get to 13,000 subscribers on the channel. Let's do it for that one dude that had that yellow hair and was really good at catching footballs with one hand. Let's get to some question. Quincy, what's wrong with Kadarius Toney? Great question. A lot of people were saying he might have been injured, but he only had 2 offensive snaps in the first half. But in the second half, got a couple more runs. I would say he finished max with 15 snaps, but he made some really good plays. When they did the play where they did the zone read and they threw the orbit backwards pass to Kadarius Toney, he was going to throw that ball. Remember, he was a quarterback at Florida, but he tucked and ran it, and he made the smart play and made nothing or something out of nothing. I need to see 89 on the field more. He's too electric. He's too much of a game changer. He is someone that once the football is in his hands, he can go from 0 to 60 and take it to the house. He did that almost a couple times today. I don't know if he's has bad blood with the coaching staff. They said they loved him. I don't know if he's working back. They're taking it easy. But I need to see Kadarius Toney on this football field way more. He's too damn good of a weapon. Tyler says Richie James, wide receiver 1. Richie James stepped up and had a big game today. 5 grabs, 60 yards, had a couple of first downs, had that big drop, that big third down. That one was pretty upsetting, but at the end of the day, he played well. Had that big first down on the slant. I like Richie James. I thought he was good in the punt return game. I just would like to see Kadarius Toney get those reps and more of Sterling Shepard and just the first-round pick in Kadarius Toney. I don't want to see Richie James. I like him, but I'd rather see number 89 out there. I want to ask this question, though. The Giants' MVP against the Titans was blank. Who was it? You can go with a couple of guys, right? You can go with Daniel Jones. You could go with Saquon Barkley. You could go with Wink Martindale. You could go with a whole bunch of different guys. You can go for Brian Dable going for 2. A lot of guys you can go with, but I want to hear from you guys all in the comments. Let me know. The Giants MVP in week 1 against the Titans, where they won, who was the MVP? $2 super chat, want to win. I was nervous. I was in shambles watching the end of that game, that last drive. I was just like, I've seen this show and this movie unfold time and time again. But look, they didn't give up. I wasn't a fan of all the defensive holdings. They were playing not to get beat. I respect that. Bend but don't break. But fact of the matter is, we got lucky. We probably should have lost that football game. But we found a way to persevere through adversity, and we won it. Shout out to Randy Bullock, who missed that kick. 2-2. F all the haters. NYG 11-6 next season, and forget about it. Giants go 11-6. This channel's going to be on fire. Now look, doesn't matter what you did in week 1 now. It's over. You celebrate tonight. You come back ready with your lunch pail and your hard hat, ready to work and go beat the Carolina Panthers, who just lost an emotional thriller to the Cleveland Browns. They're a team that's down right now. The Giants, they're riding high. We'll see how good of a coach Brian Dable is next week when it comes to having his team prepared going in to play against the Carolina Panthers. That's a very winnable football game. What is your record prediction for the Giants this year? I had them at anywhere from 6-11 to 9-8. I saw a window anywhere between there. I had the Giants in my initial record prediction as a loss for this game, but I always thought this was a winnable football game. And they did that. They did the little things to win. And it shouldn't have even been that close. That interception by Daniel Jones, the missed PAT by the kicker, some dumb things on offense, some dumb things on defense. But at the end of the day, this team rallied and found a way to win. Porsche, Danny does bad. Do we draft a QB? He won the football game today. I'm not worried about anything else. Giants are 1-0 heading into week 2 against the Panthers. He did enough to win the football game. Did he have some bad? Yeah, he's got to get better at that. But he won the football game. I'm not talking about a quarterback in the draft. I'm worried about week 2 against the Carolina Panthers. Serious Wasp, will Golladay ever be worth the money? Probably not. He'll never probably live up to that $19 million, $18 million. Was it 4 years, $72 million? But can he be a guy that makes some big catches? He had a couple of catches today. His exact yards were 2 for 22. I mean, not much of a difference maker, right? But can you get anything out of him at this point? I think that's a question you got to ask yourself. M. Dillinger, my man, what up? He said, what a hell of a win. I was yelling with you. However, do you think Danny still needs to prove himself? Absolutely. He didn't do anything today to make me feel like he's the franchise quarterback. But he did enough to win the football game. Start stacking wins, and you're going to put pressure on Joe Shane to make Daniel Jones the long-term QB for the New York Football Giants. I like Daniel Jones. Still has a lot to prove for me, though. Peyton, how are we feeling, baby? I'm feeling damn good. It is a great day to be a fan of the New York Football Giants. It was a bunch of fun watching the game with all you guys. If y'all were there at the live show, type real one in the chat right now. And if you weren't there and you just are a real one, you can drop a real one in the comments right now. Let's take a look at some stats before we get on out of here. I do want to say some things, though, now that I just think about it. The clock management by the Giants going into the first half was terrible. After that run to Saquon, they should have took that time out. I haven't gotten a chance to go back and watch the game. Obviously, we're doing this live, but a lot of areas the Giants can clean up, but they did what they had to do to win the game today. So let's spam it. Once again, we told you earlier in the show, but let's get the comment section going. Let's get 1,000 comments on this show. If you want to comment this 100 times, I'll let you, and I'll show you love. Comment Giants win in the chat right now. It's been a long damn time since we've done that in week 1, and let's celebrate.